no other questions have popped up. So thank you, Lynn and Elizabeth, and we will go ahead and move on. The next presenter is me. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And my goal is to take fewer than 7 minutes. I'm going to close some windows. I've never presented while also hosting the forum before. You should only be seeing my browser. If you can see any other part of my screen, please let me know. I only mean for you to be seeing the ArchivesSpace wiki right now. But yeah, oh, I already have something going on in the chat.
That's all we can see.
Okay, good.
We're just telling you you're good, Jessica.
Okay. Wow, you guys are really keeping me on my toes. But I do appreciate the forum planning team for giving me a few minutes. Um, Normally I'm not in the presentation seat, so this is exciting for me. But I really wanted the opportunity to highlight two different ways that you as an ArchivesSpace community member can participate that I hope will seem as interesting to you as they are easy. I know I said this in the beginning, and I say it at the beginning of every forum. I really am very grateful to all of the presenters at this and every ArchivesSpace forum. It's always exciting to hear about the new, innovative, and complex ways members are engaging with ArchivesSpace. But I also know that if you're a lone arranger or a volunteer or someone who just isn't able to dedicate the time and energy you wish you could to ArchivesSpace, these forums can sometimes feel daunting or like the ArchivesSpace community maybe isn't the place for you. And that's not true. Over half of our 550 plus member organizations are small or very small organizations. And honestly, I think we all know that the speed of the archival profession is slow. You may not always have a fun or exciting new feature or collection you want to show off, but that doesn't mean that the work you do isn't valuable and that your collections aren't important and aren't of interest. And of all the questions that I get asked about ArchivesSpace, the one that I get the most, no matter in what forum I'm in, it's how are other organizations using this? How are other organizations using this module? How are they using ArchivesSpace? How are they using the PUI? How are they using this? And that's where you come in. We recently announced two new ways that members of ArchivesSpace can show off their own archives and their own archive spaces, regardless of where you are in your implementation. The first opportunity for participating in the community is to share your ArchivesSpace use case. And I'm going to show you very quickly how to actually get there and navigate to that. And the way that you can do that is to go to the wiki. That's why I'm sharing the wiki. I see some stuff popping up in the chat. I'm ignoring it for now. I assume someone will unmute and alert me if you need me to know about it. But if you are interested in this, the way that you navigate on the wiki is you scroll down through the left-hand navigation, you go to the contribute to ArchivesSpace, and you'll see there's a whole bunch of things you can do to contribute to ArchivesSpace. And one of those is to share your ArchivesSpace use case. There's a lot of information here, but we intend for these use cases, and what I'm asking you to submit are these use cases, and we want them to supplement the ArchivesSpace user manual. The user manual does a great job telling us how the application works, but it doesn't know how you work. That's where the use cases come in. We want to know how you're using ArchivesSpace in general, and we want to know that about the different modules within ArchivesSpace. I'm not talking about submitting a use case when you are using you have like the most robust implementation or a perfect use case. I'm talking about all use cases. So like if you're using it in a minimal way or a very bespoke way, or yes, a very robust way, we want to hear from you. Your use cases will be included as a new section in the user manual that we're hoping to develop. And to do that, you just go exactly where I went to this page. You click on the form here. It will load. And you can complete this form. Just fill out all of the required information, indicate the area of the application that you'd like to provide your use case, describe your use case, and submit it. And we'll be in touch. Again, we want to hear about how you're using ArchivesSpace. We're not here to judge this. We're not here to grade you. We just want to know how different organizations are using the application. The user manual tells you how to do it. We want to know how it works for you at your organization. The second opportunity is to participate in a webinar series that I would like to develop and that I'm really excited about because I'm very nosy and I miss working in an archive every day. And that's a Show Us Your Implementation webinar series. The intent of this is to offer individual webinars with 3 to 4 different organizations presenting in a lightning round format just like this, where you give us a mini tour of your archive and you show us how you use ArchivesSpace. I'm really excited about this. Again, it's not intended for some specific new feature or some new way you're using ArchivesSpace. So of course it can be. It's really just meant to be a way to introduce yourself, your collections, and your ArchivesSpace to the community. And the way you would do that, navigate exactly like I showed you, but instead of going to share your ArchivesSpace use case, go to participate and show your implementation, open that up, click the link, and you'll be taken to a form. Fill out the information. I am asking for a little bit of like demographic information or information specific to your ArchivesSpace, because I would like to group kind of like ArchivesSpace implementations together. So like if you're all using the same hosting provider, or you have a long time implementation, or you're fairly new, or you're in the middle of a migration, something like that, so that all the presentations kind of have the same theme. But that's why I'm asking these questions. But really, I would love to see, as many organizations as want to present in this. And we have over 550 member organizations, so this webinar series could last forever. And I see some stuff is popping up in the chat, so I'm going to stop sharing in just a minute and go through that. But my hope is that these are low effort ways to participate in the community, and it's a great way to highlight the very worthwhile work that you're doing. And I hope that you get as excited about these opportunities as I am. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to us at our email address, archivespacehome@lyrasis.org. But I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen and check the chat. All right. I think I'm all caught up on the chat now. But yeah, if you have a question for me, please do post it in the Q&A. Yeah, so Celia asked, for the use cases, how robust are you looking for? Like a paragraph or a link to the manual? I would say as detailed as you think it needs to be to explain your use case. So more than a sentence, more than just, yes, we use the resource, like the resource modules, more than that. But it doesn't have to be too in depth. If a paragraph suffices, a paragraph suffices. If you want to link to a relevant user manual page, that would be great. The intent is not to add this information directly into the user manual, though. So it's not as though what you're saying will now become part of the user manual. We'd like to add a new section within our help center that is sort of structured similarly to the user manual, but it's all use cases. So if you're interested in learning more about the resource module after going through the user manual, you can then pop into the use cases and see like, oh, wow, this is how other places are using this. And it's not as daunting as I thought, or wow, it's way more powerful than I thought. So give it a try and see what you think. All right. I want to pause awkwardly because I always make every presenter pause awkwardly and wait for more questions, but I also don't want to make us all be here too long. I know that we're coming up on a break. All right. Not seeing any additional questions pop up. Gosh, I just got an Amber Alert. That's distracting. We're going to go ahead. Celia's asking a question about